It's my older server. It was back 1.0, I think, before the update. So I'll take you on a tour of this one. This one might have a little bit less redstone in it than some of my other ones. It was before I really got into the whole technical aspect. Oh god, my game is lagging. No, don't be frozen. Come on. Don't do this to me. Wow, that's awesome. It would appear that my game is frozen. Okay. So, as I was saying, probably a little, not as much redstone, a little more architectural. This was before I really understood just how awesome redstone is. This was a kind of a castle, mansion type thing that I thought I'd make, nothing too incredibly fancy. It's got some rooms, the bed. Oh, by the way, this texture pack this is actually the old Pangea texture pack from the Voxel box. It's a little outdated now that 1.1 has come out and they've moved to their Palceon, I think it's pronounced. It's Palceon texture pack, which is what I've been using for my current servers. They're all architectural texture packs, for builders, not necessarily for survival. So this room, as it says, is the fire pit and bar. So, oh my gosh, door, come on, get out of my way. As you might imagine, it has, oh wow, frozen again. That's so much fun. Well, as you can see, to the left, there's a fire pit type area over here, and to the right there is a bar of sorts. And what's awesome about this bar is that if you press this button, it will give you a drink. In this case, this was coffee, and it'll put it right there on your lap if you were sitting in that chair. It'll give you a bunch of things, a bunch of different kinds of things, and that's not a drink. That doesn't really belong there, but okay. So yeah, and then there's the fire pit, and then over here there is a not so secret switch that turns this blank wall, and it opens it up a little bit and opens the windows, so you can see all the beautiful nothingness outside, because my computer won't load the terrain. So on to the next room. So this room is my room, quote unquote. And it's nothing too fancy, just there's a bed, a dispenser that dispenses, oh my god, frozen again. Alright, it dispenses something, I don't recall exactly what. It would appear nothing. Yep, it dispenses nothing. And there's a bed, and another bed on top of my shelves. And this was supposed to be a shower, which is kind of lame, I guess. But I liked it, so I added it. Alright. The next room over is a room for a friend of mine. It's got just, a fireplace, a bed, etc. What's interesting about this mansion that I built, though, is that it has these buttons in the walls. And you press the button, and you look over here, and there's an entrance that wasn't there before. It's like within the walls of the castle, mansion, whatever this is. And look, now we're back in my room. So we can go back in here. We can go, that's back into that. We can go this way this time. And if you go up the stairs, then if I could stairs, then it's a sort of a outdoor kind of viewing type area, which is kind of cool. And then this secret passage will actually go one more direction if we were to keep going this way. It goes all the way around the perimeter of the castle. It ends up back in the fire pit and bar area. I think that's it for this one. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, what happened there? I have one more room. Nothing too incredibly fancy. It was my stupid door. You wanna fight? This is my nether portal room. I don't think the portals work anymore. This portal used to, take you to the nether, and then there was like a walkway that was encased in glass that you could walk through, and you can go into a different portal, and it would teleport you up to a set of floating islands that I have. Now I do have the islands, but I just don't think the portal works. So I'll see if I can, see, there they are. These are my floating islands. I'm actually quite proud of these. I made these in MC Edit. What I did was I spawned a flat plane of like stone, and then I spawned trees in certain densities. Oh dear, that island just disappeared. I spawned trees on top of that stone plane, but I spawned them out of sand. And then when I went into the actual Minecraft client, and I just hit the sand a bunch of times so that all of it fell, and it made these big mountain pile type things. And then I just, selected that area, flipped it upside down, made it and turned all the sand into stone, and this is what it came up with. And then I just kind of put some dirt on top. I thought it turned out pretty nice. Alright, so you've seen the mansion, you've seen my islands. This over here is the last architectural build that I have. It was just a small little cottage with some vines. Just 2 simple floors, 1 room each. Nothing too incredible. Alright, so now that I've shown you all of the architectural type builds, I want to show you some of my very early redstone stuff. This here was supposed to be a repeating TNT cannon, where you would put blocks of TNT, these things, where the sand is, and it would feed them into the actual firing chamber here, and when you press the button it would, it would launch the TNT this way. But I had an interesting problem with it, where the TNT in the chamber would blow up, and apparently the water wouldn't work very well, and it would blow up my entire line of TNT, and it would blow the entire cannon up. Well, it would blow up all the redstone. The actual cannon, the white stone here, is actually bedrock, so it didn't blow up, but it destroyed itself every time you fired it. which, as you would imagine, is not what cannons are supposed to do. So I tried to fix the problem by, instead of lining up the TNT over top of one another in a vertical stack like this and then firing it, I tried to make a vertical drop cannon, where all of the TNT would be in this kind of channel, and it would go this way, stacked up, and then it would go this way, and then once it hits this spot, it would hit these torches here, and it would become powered, and it would land there with what used to be there. Apparently it got destroyed a little bit. I don't know. This one didn't really work very well either. You could get one shot out of it and then the rest of the clip would blow up. Those were not very successful. This, on the other hand, was actually quite successful. This is part of a self-repairing bridge, where basically it's just made of cobblestone, and it has a repeater on it. It actually has two repeaters, although there's no reason for having the second one. Let's turn this off. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh. It's been a while since I've been on the server. I kind of forget what a lot of my stuff does or how it was made. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, okay. So this kind of repeater, it is a something my brother actually invented. It's a power source here, the switch, which powers via redstone a piston as well as whatever you're trying to power. But what happens is whenever the piston reaches, whenever the power reaches the piston, it extends and it actually closes off this part of the circuit, which turns off power to the piston, which which is why it cycles. But it's a mechanical version of something like this, which I see a lot, where you would complete the circuit, and if I could fly correctly, you would do something like this, and it would cycle, on its own through the repeaters until you disconnected the circuit. But the problem is that if you have a server like I do, and the server gets turned off, and then you restart it later, the redstone current actually becomes frozen in the wire, and then it doesn't work anymore. You have to reset it manually, and it's just a pain in the butt. What this does is the power source is constant, and all of the actual repeating is it's mechanical. So if your server were to shut down and were to restart, it just restarts on its own. It's a lot more reliable than the pure redstone one. So basically what this does is you've got your bridge, and let's say some griefer takes some TNT and just breaks a bunch of blocks on your bridge. Well, what it does is it will rebuild your bridge for you. It will produce cobblestone and systematically push it out onto the bridge, filling the hole, which is quite interesting. The only problem is that it only pushes the 12 blocks, so you can't make very long of a bridge. But it's an interesting display of redstone. Now, if I could be able to fly, I'll show you the rest of the server. Oh my gosh. Alright. So back over here, where we were before, I started building this part when I really started getting into redstone specifically. This was just I was experimenting with some sort of an elevator. This is sand, where it would push sand from one side like this, up the other side.